Hey folks, this is Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking, and we are doing the vlog thing. So in today's vlog, we're going to talk about riding the same trails, but riding them in different times of the year, and even different times of the day, and how the same trail can feel completely different. Now, if this backdrop looks a little weird, I am doing the Regular Guy thing today, and I'm at my daughter's dance thing. I don't know a lot about dance. I think it's called an informal. It's something where you get ready for competition. All I know is she's like dance 63, and there's 73 dances, and I'm being a very supportive dad. Anyway, let's talk about riding the same trail different times of the year. The reason why this is kind of a cool topic is because if you're on the East Coast, especially the Northeast, we're talking one day it's freaking 0 degrees. The next day, it's 70, not 70, like 50, it's 45 degrees out right now. You'll literally go to bed, and there'll be snow on the ground, and you'll wake up in the morning, and all the snow is gone. It's just a really weird winter. So, recently, I did a meetup ride, and we were over at Sterling Forest. Jordan was over there with me, one of the fellow YouTubers, great guy, and we rode, and it was all snow. It was all snow. And these are the same trails I've ridden only once before, and the entire place was different. So the same trail that I rode when there was no snow was a completely different ride. Now, of course, you would expect that. You know, one day's just all dirt, one day's snow and ice. But there's a whole different type of challenge. When we were riding up the hills, it was different because not only did you have to try to get up the hill, but you couldn't apply too much pressure to the pedals or your back tire would slip out. So you were always on this edge of, you know, pedaling, but don't pedal too hard because you're going to lose traction, but you got to keep pedaling. It really took a lot out of us. So, you know, for you folks that know what snow is, right, isn't it completely different when you're riding up a hill? You have to better understand the tire traction. A lot of guys were also dropping a lot of air out of their tires. We were mainly fat biking to get that wider spread of pattern on the tire, a bigger footprint because the tire had less air. It would spread out more just to grab the traction. My buddy Joe, he's got a Trek fat bike with, I think it's their 4.5, 7.5 fat bike. I mean, the tires are just massive. When he rides behind it sounds like you got a monster truck coming up on you. But that sucker put down a tread pattern, and it was just like churning out snow. It was amazing. So that same trail in the wintertime was completely different than riding it during a regular, like a spring day or just no snow. That same trail, if you rode it on a wet day that was slushy, you'd have to be careful of the roots because you'd be sliding out with the roots. You'd have to be careful of the rocks because you'd be sliding out with the rocks. And that same trail again, riding it on a dry day, completely different ride. So I'm just curious to you guys, on the trails that you ride, at least I know on the Northeast, we have all 4 seasons. So I can tell you that we can literally ride the same trail differently and then throw in night riding, the same trail on all of those different types of topics I just said, and then ride them at night. Just take everything and multiply it by 2, because night riding, it isn't even the same as day riding, the same trail. You could do the same trail in the morning and then do it at night, and it would be completely different. So night riding throws a whole different mix into it. But I'm really curious, especially you folks on the West Coast, do the trails ever feel different to you because of the season that you're in? I don't really know, because you guys mainly just have hot and like really, really freaking hot. So does it make a difference? Do you have to just maybe prepare more because you have to be ready physically to handle the heat? The trails are pretty much the same. On the West Coast, the trails are completely different. I mean, on the East Coast. On the East Coast, the trails are completely different based on the season. Snow, rain, you know, mud, dry, completely different. So that's the vlog today. When you guys go out riding, how many of you ride in different seasons? How many of you have noticed trails completely different? How do you prepare? Do you guys go as far as changing different tires based on the terrain that you're going to go in and the season that you're going to be in? Do you have different bikes that you take out based on the time of the year and the way the terrain is? Are there certain times of year where you basically just say, the hell with this, I'm not going out, I'm going to go do something else because it's just not the kind of time I like to ride in? I think this is a pretty good topic because you guys always give back amazing feedback, And I'd really like to understand what you do to prepare for for the same trails that you ride when they're basically in a different time of year, or the terrain is just different than it may have been the day before. Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking, you guys are awesome. I thank you so much for everything you do for the channel. Regular Guy Mountain Biking would literally be nothing without your support. So I'm going to say it again. I thank you so much for helping keep the channel growing. Keep the party on the pedals, no matter what season it is or no matter what the trails look like. And hopefully I'll see you soon on the trails. Have a good one. I got to get back into the audience and watch some more dances. Later.